We don't need Pete Buttigieg's national service program. We already knew this, but here's a reminder. Pete Buttigieg thinks national service will solve America's inequality and division. This is according to the article. But what we actually need to build solidarity and improve lives are broad social guarantees to decent jobs, healthcare, and education. I agree. So a new call to service. This is Buttigieg's latest plan, and this would immediately increase the number of available national service positions by almost 200,000, with the ultimate goal of creating a pathway towards a universal national expectation of service for all 4 million high school graduates every year. While it's not entirely clear how the program will work, those who participate will receive consideration for public service, student debt forgiveness, vocational training, and hiring preferences. All right, so here is his quote on this. In the great unwinding of American civic society underway, this is what his website says, and at a time when Americans are experiencing record low trust in fellow citizens and American institutions, few, if any, single policy solutions carry the promise of democratic renewal more than national service. At this moment, when social media and deepening polarization have put us into distinct bubbles, national service is that much more essential to fashioning a common carrier. So basically what he's saying, we're divided. People are hurting. People are suffering. There's some serious issues in this country. We are polarized. I know. Let's get the military up in this. We created an economy of war that has crippled our nation. It has crippled our nation. Let's get the military involved with this. Let's change the way people think. So I've never served in the military. I never have. But you know what? I read a lot of the feedback from people who have. There's a Twitter thread out there that you can find. Do not read it on an empty stomach. We talked about it on this show where the Army said, hey, join the Army, enlist, share your stories. The Army encouraged people to share their stories. And the stories that they got were all stories of PTSD, people who can't function in society anymore because of what they had to go through overseas, people who realized that all of our wars are bullshit, people who had a family member commit suicide, so that family member couldn't type and submit their own response. A family member had to do it for them because they're dead now, because they couldn't handle the PTSD and they weren't getting the help they needed. But according to Pete Buttigieg, you go into the military, you come out more patriotic, you feel better, you don't feel polarized anymore. All your problems are solved with this national year of service, which again comes from a place of huge privilege. You know, a lot of people don't have that luxury, Pete Buttigieg, because they had to work a couple jobs while they were in high school to help their family pay the bills. And now that they're out, they have to help even more. They might have kids of their own. They can't just do some year of service. Even if it's compensated, they can't just do that because they're working to survive. So instead of going straight to this year of service, which we know you want to get the military involved a lot, especially you, Pete Buttigieg, why not try building towards a society where something like that would be more possible for a lot of people? Hey, it'd be great if everybody, right when they went out of college, could just go do a year in the Peace Corps if they wanted to. If they wanted to. Could just go do AmeriCorps, could go learn some type of skill, could volunteer for a year and learn a new skill set that they didn't have before and then enter the job market with that skill set. Maybe they were building houses. Now they have all this skill set building houses. It'd be amazing if we lived in that society. That'd be great. I'm not against that in principle, but our society ain't there yet. And Pete Buttigieg's vision isn't going to get us there. And we do not need his year in service, as this article points out. Let's get the military up involved in this. Pete Buttigieg, why didn't he fire the chief? The question he couldn't answer. That's the question he couldn't answer because he doesn't give a shit about police brutality and police corruption and racism in law enforcement because he didn't fire the chief and he got called out for it. That single-handedly should have ended his campaign. But because he gets a lot of Wall Street money, which, by the way, right after that happened, right after he was humiliated on that debate stage for getting called out for not firing a police chief that should have been fired, he got a bunch of Wall Street money. He got a big Wall Street bump because the establishment, they like him. The establishment likes Pete Buttigieg. Buttigieg! Get your news on on with Ron. Don't you wanna know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you wanna know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your